Forward down the feet. Oh, I'm sorry. Different show. I'm sorry. Welcome to the Academy Sports Show right here live on Academy Sports Show Network, YouTube, whatever you want to call it. We appreciate you guys joining as always. If you're watching on Joel's Live, my live, or the YouTube, we greatly appreciate it. We have been gone, but we are back. We told you we were coming back. Our season is now over, so now we are back, and we got a lot to unpack. We can't just do it in one sitting, but we want everybody to come into the live right now. Make sure this is your first time ever watching the show. Make sure you go to the YouTube. Make sure you trigger that bell. That way you get a notification every time we go live. Make sure you subscribe and all the great things to the Academy Sports Show. We thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Andre Douglas, and next to me is your host, Joe Williams.
I've never been able to do that. We are back. We're back. We're back. Back. Welcome to the show, everybody. We appreciate you joining us tonight. Hey, man, listen, it's been a long time. It's been a long time. You should have left without a dope. All right. No, but it's been a long time. We're back. We got a lot to cover tonight. As y'all know, you know how we do it on the show. We hit an array of things. We are a mixture of your national talk show and your local talk show. So we're going to give you a little bit of what you want, all the local folks. But we got a lot of listeners from all over the country. So we like to give people what they want nationally as well. So welcome back to everybody, man. Big shout out. I would say, Dre, it's good to see you, but I see you all the time because the reason we haven't been here is because we've been coaching football. But as Dre said, now that football is over with, it is a pleasure to be back. My dad is back. What's up, Pops? Just good to be here, man. People in the building. So make sure you shout out. Make sure you say hello. We about to get it in. Great show ahead for you tonight. A lot to talk about. Y'all know how we do. We always open up with some trivia. We always open up with some what the meme. You know, just how it works, man. Then we get into the nitty gritty. And tonight we have a lot to cover. So we're going to touch a little bit on some of the big news around the NFL pertaining to our teams. So we got to talk a little bit of the Detroit Lions and Cleveland Browns, how those seasons going. We got to talk a little bit of NFL, talking about the top fives, give our top fives. That's something we traditionally do on the show. Then we have a special segment that I just found out about, like literally right before we came on the air. That I think is a pretty cool segment. It would be one for today. Then we'll see how it goes. It's called Do You Even Care? But it's specifically directed towards me. So, Joel, do you care?
Do you care, Joel?
A lot of things in regards to that. Be a little NBA, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Just a lot of catch up. We're just playing catch up. We haven't seen you guys in a few months. And as always, we look for participation. Please share the link. I hit a couple people up right before we came on air and said, hey, we're back. Pops jumped in. Dennis hit me back and said he's in PT right now, but he'll try to get with us. James is in the building. Y'all know how we do. So just share it. Let everybody know, man, on Facebook, on YouTube. Let everybody know that we're live. We're getting it going. Jump in here, man. Have something to say. You know how we do it, man. If you say something and it gets recorded, you will be held accountable. Just in case you forgot as well, the bell has made it back.
I got to get the flag. It's around here somewhere.
The bell is back. You know how the bell works on this show. We ring it for all kinds of things. Inappropriateness. We ring it for very good things that you've said. We ring it for trolling. We ring it for anything. Stupidity, whatever. It gets rang. If you get the bell rang on you, just consider it an honor. Consider it. That's what I say. So, man, we got a lot to get into. Y'all throw some stuff in the chat, man. If you want to hear us talk about anything, we'll get to it. But we love to hear your comments, as you know.
For sure.
Let's just dive right in, man. Welcome back to the Academy Sports Show.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh no. All right. So if you're not familiar with the show's format, here's what we got. We got trivia night, we got memes, we got all the great stuff like Joel said. So if you're looking for stuff, it's coming on the docket. We talking Michigan, we talking Lions, so stay tuned. First, let's get this trivia out the way. So since we've been gone, I think it's time to start a new season of trivia. What do you think, Joe? Because I think we waxed them last season.
Yeah, I'll just put the final score. We'll just put a final score. Final score is right there. That's fine.
I think we waxed them in trivia last time. So let's call it a new season. Let's wipe the slate clean.
All right.
Let's start off 0-0.
I
don't know the question. I don't know the question when Joel has the question. Joel doesn't know the question when I have the question. It's completely we don't know the question. We don't know the answer. No Twitter fingers. We appreciate if y'all don't do the Twitter fingers as well. As trivia works, Joel asked me the question. I have until I either answer it or the field, which is you guys. You guys put an answer in the chat, but the caveat is the first person that puts the answer in the chat is the answer for everybody. So once that happens, right or wrong, that's your guy. So you better make sure you're right, or the chat is gonna get you. All right. 0-0. I'm ready.
All right. So I'm the asker of the question today. This is going to be a football question. All right. This is an NFL related question. All right. The Cleveland Browns.
Ain't this a Cleveland Browns? Gave me a Cleveland Browns question.
It's not a Cleveland Browns trivia question. It's just how I'm opening it up. All right. So be careful. Be careful. Okay. Yes, sir, Cole. We're back.
Right on time.
I was wondering if you was gonna get your alert, see if you were still paying attention. Oh, we should do a fantasy update too, by the way. Some of us are having really great fantasy seasons. Some of us are not. Luke, that's trolling. That was shade for sure. Okay. All right. So, trivia question. The Cleveland Browns right now are currently on a historic run defensively. Okay. They are the best defense in the league.
Had to put that in there somewhere.
Historic run. 3 of the top 5 games of all time with the lowest yards per game are owned by the Cleveland Browns. Okay. Name. Relax. It's not super hard. All right. Name 3 of the top 5 defenses of all time.
I gotta say the year.
Give you. Nope. You don't have to say a year. I'm going to give you 2. I want you to name the other 3. I'm going to give you 2. Ready?
Okay.
All right. The 2 I'm going to give you are the 1976 Pittsburgh Steelers, but the steel curtain. Don't worry about the year. I'm not looking for year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to give you the 2013 Seattle Seahawks.
Okay.
Legion of Boom. Name the other 3.
So I'll go with early 2000s Ravens.
Okay.
What was the first? And then the historic 80-something Bears.
Okay.
So and you need one more. I will go with the early. I want to say the early 2000s Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay. Final answer.
Well, we got an answer. It's so I can think about it now.
We have an answer. All right, we have an answer in the chat. So this answer goes up as the official answer for the chat.
So what was the 2 you gave me? The Seahawks and some old ass team, right?
I gave you the Seahawks and I gave you the Steel Curtain Steelers.
Okay.
You added
I gave you
the
Ravens, Bucks, and Bears.
And the Ravens. And you're going with the Bucks as your other team. Is that your final answer?
And what is the is it yardage or is it score? What was the question?
Well, I said statistically.
Okay.
But the list I'm using, just to be clear, the list I'm using is Hold on. Is using statistical factors, basically points allowed. Let's see, points allowed, Super Bowl. Defensive points allowed, Super Bowl, whether or not they won a Super Bowl, and looks like and they're also using Super Bowl MVPs on the team.
I guess I would stick with mine because Derek Brooks won that Super Bowl MVP for Tampa. And I'm sure his answer is wrong, so we just both gonna be wrong. So yeah. So to answer your question, I'll go with Saps Tampa Bay, Ray Lewis's Ravens, and who else did I say? The Fridges Bears.
Got you. So it's funny because I gave my answers because the answer that they have as the fifth answer that you didn't choose is from our time period. That's why I wasn't trying to make it to where you were like to go back and guess like the Steelers of the 72 or whatever.
Yeah.
So you guys both agree on the Bears and Ravens. The 71 Colts is not in this discussion. I'm not sure I've ever heard of that defense. Let me
I don't even know what that is. That a formation?
I'm like trying to look at this list to see if they're even on here.
Dang, James. Yeah, man, you've been alive for a long time.
So yeah, the 71 Colts not on here. But according to the list I was using, Chicago Bears number 1, Ravens number 2, Seahawks number 3, Steelers number 4, Broncos 2015 number 5.
Okay.
Saying arguably the best offense in the history of the sport in 2013. They came back 2 years later and won it with a defense that carried them to victory. Von Miller, TJ Ward, Darian Stewart, Talib and Harris were the corners.
DeMarcus Ware was on that team.
Yeah. Von Miller won Super Bowl MVP. 1 touchdown pass, 44 points in the postseason.
Where's Tampa on that?
Tampa actually was at number 7. At number 6 was in 69 Vikings, the Purple People Eaters.
The Purple People Eaters.
And Tampa Bay Bucks were number 7.
Oh, so Drew watches.
So guessing with the Colts.
Drew watches everything Justin Jefferson on YouTube. So they had like a Minnesota Vikings facility like look. So he's like looking at the stadium, whatever. He was like, "What is a Purple People Eater?" Like because they got all the statues and stuff. I was like, "Don't worry about it, bro. Like, you'll be all right." What's good? I don't watch sports. Well,
that's okay. We appreciate the support. Appreciate you still hanging out with us.
All right, so that's trivia. It's 0-0. Catch us next week if you want to get that dub on trivia. We'll be back next week, Monday, 7:30. Make sure y'all lock this time in. If you're new to the stream, make sure you follow us on the YouTube. Click the link in the Facebook. It'll take you to the YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and trigger that bell.
That was better.
I feel like that way you get a notification when we go live. We appreciate it. So right after trivia night, we do what the meme. What the meme is those sports memes that you see all over your feed. If you follow a lot of sports stuff, you play it, you make teams and all this other stuff. So we got a couple memes. Here we go. Now, it has been announced in 2028, the Olympics will offer flag football. So this meme came out, Bill Jones squad. Who would you want to take to the 2028 Olympics flag football team? First of all, sir, we got football in the Olympics. Why we can't just hit? Why I got to be flag football? But, I get baby steps, I guess. I don't know.
Yep.
But all right, go ahead, flesh out your team. There's no money here, so it just looks like just make the best roster you can.
So wait, do I get 1 per?
Yeah, looks like it.
All right, so I get one position. Why do I even need a defensive guy? What?
I mean, you got to play defense too.
I guess so. Yeah. All right. So QB. All right, QB. I'm going Mahomes. And this is flag football. Wide receiver, I'm going to Tariq. That's easy. Cheetah. Running back, I'm going Bajan. My flex is going to be Kelsey. And my D is going to be Sauce Gardner. Thinking strictly flag here. QB Mahomes, that's obvious. Tariq for the speed and the wiggle to keep people from pulling his flags. Have you seen the moves that Bijan Robinson has? It's ridiculous. And then a big body with Kelsey. Maybe if I need a body catch in the end zone, somebody can box out.
Yeah.
And then Sauce, I'm going to need him to cover because all my offensive guys got to play defense, right? So I don't know how this works, but I feel like a cornerback in flag football is a good piece to have.
It's a good piece, yeah.
Yeah.
Basically picking the Chiefs with a little bit of sauce.
Yeah. right. Considering Cheetah came from the Chiefs,
yes. So yeah. I'm going Thomas, Bartholomew Brady. Listen, I just gotta pick my guy. It's my team. I get to pick my guy.
He doesn't have to run anywhere.
He doesn't. You just sit back and just dissect,
Yeah.
Mahomes will take a shot that he ain't gotta take. Brady will just get you up the field, do what he gotta do. So I'm going Brady.
He's back. Go ahead.
I'm going Brady. From my son, I'll go Jettas. Speed Drew upstairs. I'll go Brady Jettas. I'll go Bijan too, just for the shiftiness. Christian will tweak a hamstring going against Germany or something in the first round.
And the first bell. There it is.
United States versus Germany. Here's Christian Wooden talking. His hamstring went out.
Oh man,
he needs some milk. Then I'll go Kelsey, and let's give my man Micah. Let's give my man Micah a nod.
All right,
so I'll go that one.
Let's see what we got here. The chat says, let's see. Kobe said, "Give me Mahomes, Tariq. Give me Kelsey Park. Oh, and give me Christian McCaffrey and Kelsey." So he wants the whole row, the top row. Grizzly said Mahomes, Tyreek, Christian, give him Kelsey and JJ Watt. All right.
TJ Watt.
Oh, yeah, that's my bad. TJ. We ain't covering nobody in space. Kobe said, give me the top row. And didn't he agree with you? Rest in peace, CMC.
My knee.
Oh, man. Kobe said, nice, James. And then Grizzly came back with CMC can be a modern Falk while Watt can disrupt the whole defense like 2013 Von Miller. All right.
Hey, they got blitzing a lot of. We need the rules.
Yeah, I'm about to say y'all put a lot behind that. We talking about flag football, ladies.
We need the rules in this flag too. All right, next one up. Who you got? Prime Griffey or Prime Barry? Minus the steroids. Or with the steroids. I don't know.
Premise with this.
I don't know. I just found it. You're a baseball guy, so I'm giving you a baseball one.
Oh, you know what? I had to look at the picture because you said Barry, and I'm thinking I went Barry Sanders immediately instead of looking at the picture and going Barry Bonds. Ooh, gotcha. Prime Griffey or Prime. Woo-wee.
Did Barry have a prime?
Yeah, so
I feel like he just got old. He got old, and then he was great. Then he was hitting 70.
Well, yeah. I mean, steroids are real. I don't knock him for it. Still, I enjoyed baseball during that time, so I'm not the don't put him in the Hall of Fame guy. I think he should be in the Hall because they saved the game of baseball, even though they did it with drugs. Still, that being said, I'm old enough to remember Barry in Pittsburgh, the Barry Bonds in Pittsburgh, who was skinny with a smaller head, and him and Bobby Bonilla were the two big time hitters in Pittsburgh, Three River Stadium, and then Kingdom Prime Griffey. I'm gonna go Griffey on this. because Prime Griffey was like what they call in baseball a 5-tool player. He could do it all: run, throw, catch, hit for power, hit for double, steal bases. I mean, my man was, he was out cold and lefty with it too. Just one of the sweetest swings ever in baseball. So I got to go Prime Griffey.
So I got a question that's completely off topic. Off topic. There's enough men in this room and a couple women, so maybe they can answer this question as well. At what age do you rock the hoop earring as a man? Like when is like you go from the studs to the hoop? I remember when my dad did it. I said, "Dad, what made you?" So Barry Bond got the dangling. Like who can rock the dangle? Can a normal person that works a regular job can you rock the dangle? Like if I just showed up at a picnic one day and saw everybody act like nothing was happening, had a little dangle, could we get away with that? Or you got to be a millionaire for that?
Yeah. So my kids were very clear when I just got my ear pierced. And one of the things they were very specific about was do not put anything in your ear that dangles. Don't wear a hoop. Don't wear a hanging cross. Absolutely not. The one thing I've never been able to get with is the man with the hanging
the dangle.
The dangle. We are in a new time now. Things are different. We can't say certain things. We can't assume certain things. But there's something about a dangling earring that does not sit right with me.
You gotta be a millionaire. You just gotta be a
millionaire where it doesn't matter who talks about you. I'm rich.
Great athlete. Odell took his helmet off. I was like, you got the little dangle cross. Okay, I see Barry Bonds, dangle cross. Like, no? All right.
Meanwhile, I have a stud.
All right. So I think everybody agrees with you. Prime Griffey.
Prime Griffey? Ah, yes. Oh, nice, James. Nice, James. I appreciate it. We put our link in the fantasy group.
Coming for all y'all suckers. All right, so that's what's the meme, I think. And then let's get to it. Forward down the field, it is the team that will not yield.
Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go.
Y'all don't got a song or nothing? Y'all just chant the same thing over and over again? Yeah. Every time y'all score.
The song, like, we're not in college anymore. We sing fight songs in college. Like we don't sing fight songs.
Y'all sing a touchdown song. It's not a fight song. It's a touchdown song.
What's a touchdown song?
It's a touchdown song. It's a song that they play when you score a touchdown. Yeah, it's the crowd in it.
There are a few teams around the league that have this. I'm just okay. Y'all got a touchdown song. The Lions
have more wins than you. We also have more wins than you.
Oh, this year you do. Good job. Okay. Now we're in it. Listen, come on, Lions fans. Bring that energy. Come on. About time. Welcome to the show. We appreciate you joining us for the winning around here. More than
we didn't have to buy our team either. We didn't have to buy it.
You guys on this roster. You definitely got a few free agents here. Let's not.
I mean, but you gave a guy almost $200 million.
Oh my God!
Free just to play quarterback for your franchise.
If the Lions paid somebody $200 million that you liked, you'd be very happy right now. Oh my! How the lows have become the snooty ones now, guys. Listen to this guy.
Yeah, you just on the top of the division.
You like
just
it?
Yeah.
I've been looking
Feels
down
like
the
winning.
last few years. It's like,
Yeah, hey Packers, how y'all doing down there?
oh
How's it
yeah,
going,
after they got rid
Vikings?
of that really good quarterback
How you
out
doing?
there, let's
How
beat
you
up
doing,
on these
Bears?
sorry teams.
Hey Bears, can you hear me?
Yeah, your division's kind of weak there, Dre.
Ah,
Meanwhile, we're over here in
there
second
you
place in the best division, in football. Meanwhile, 5-3 in the best division in football. Meanwhile, but okay, all right, 6-2. We have the bunch of nobodies in our division now.
Yeah, beat up on Kenny Pickett all you want to. Why don't you?
Right.
Why don't you?
You ain't gonna talk about Lamar and them though. You ain't gonna talk about Joe Burrow. I don't hear you. Oh,
Hey,
I'm sorry.
listen, you want to bring up
Jordan
losses?
Love?
We
You
bringing
said
up losses? We
was it
bringing up
Jordan
losses?
Love?
Are you gonna kick a field goal or are you gonna go for it? What you gonna do? What you gonna do, Browns? What you gonna do?
Love.
You gonna punt it? What you gonna do?
That's what y'all going with.
What you gonna do, Brownies? Let's make a decision. Okay.
Wait. Who's playing quarterback? Who's playing quarterback in Minnesota? Josh Dobbs.
We didn't play Josh Dobbs. We didn't play Josh Dobbs.
Woohoo! Y'all excited?
We didn't play Josh Dobbs. All
Y'all
right.
excited? Let's beat up on these sorry teams. Go Lions!
I'm sorry. Defending champions week 1. Defending champions week 1 at their place. I'm sorry. Defending champions week 1 at their place.
One win? Is that your one good win this year?
What?
Is that your one good win? Is that the quality win you have? Let's look at this schedule. What quality win do you have?
That's all I'm saying.
Kansas City's the only quality win you have.
That's all I'm saying. Jeez.
This segment was supposed to be about you expressing your happiness about your team. But
we can do that.
Kansas City's the only quality win you have this season.
Pops, I'm not talking, Pops. I'm just enjoying my team's winning right now. That's all. I'm enjoying our winning. That's all. I'm still humble. Pops. I'm still
6-2. You guys beat one quality team this year.
I'm still humble. Still humble as ever.
Carolina, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Atlanta, and Vegas. Ugh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Meanwhile,
who you beat?
We knocked out the 49ers. Thank you. So we have our win.
No, their kicker missed the kick. Let's be honest.
What was the final score?
Let's be honest.
That number one defense did not show up that game. Oh, okay.
Their kicker missed the kick.
Let's be honest. Let's keep it.
Keep
it in perspective.
Jake was feeling a little moody.
Keep it in perspective.
Missed the kick. Just saying. But you're right. A win is a win.
Yep.
Enjoy that. Oh no, sir. 4 down the field. All right. And that's been Lions versus Browns recap. No, but in all seriousness, man, how you feel about your Browns moving forward in the division, moving forward in the second half of the season?
Yeah, but what up, Leonardo? Yeah, lost to them dang old Steelers. We'll get them in a couple of weeks, though. That's gonna be different for sure. That was a tough loss, man. Losing our star running back in that game destroyed us emotionally. But that's gonna be. I feel good about my team. I have a worry. I think. Well, interesting thing. This will come up in the top 5 when we talk about that. And when I was going through my top 5 today, and then thinking about my team, every team's got a flaw, and some of these teams, it's a fatal flaw if it doesn't get fixed, and they may end up in the playoffs. But the flaw is going to show up, and they may lose a big game in the playoffs because of it. The flaw about my team that I just don't like is we're not consistent offensively. I still don't like the play calling that's taking place from Stefanski. My quarterback's not consistent. Deshaun showed that he could throw the ball down the field yesterday. Appreciate that. However, of course, with the backup quarterback and third string quarterback winning those games that we did win, the running game was there. I like the running game, even though we don't have Chubb anymore. Please, Chubb, get back soon. I hope you recover and you're back to being as great as you were. But our quarterback's got to win us a game or two somewhere along the way to make me feel better about our chances in the playoffs. And so right now, don't have it. Defensively, I'm not. It sounds homerish, but it's the statistics back it up. That defense is scary good. They are
Yeah.
really, really, really good. So defensively, we're going to be in games. The formula looks like it's defensively to play great defense, run the ball, and then your running game and your quarterback make a couple plays to win it, and you're good to go. Sounds like the Baltimore Ravens of 2000 when Trent Dilfer was at quarterback. I just feel like Deshaun Watson's a much better quarterback.
Oh, for sure.
So,
Way better.
so I hate the fact that Deshaun showed us something when he was in Houston. I feel like at that time, that was a star, a top 5 quarterback. I hope he can return to form. This guy still hasn't played a lot in the last 2 years, so we'll see. So love the defense. Still waiting on the offense to just play complimentary ball. And Kevin Stefanski, I feel like I need better. I need more variety in the play calling out of you, but we'll just have to live with it until it's either he's here or we win, or he's gone and we don't. But finally, the people on the paper is starting to match what's on the field, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
So my one question about them is, do you need Deshaun Watson to play like a top 10 quarterback to make a run in the playoffs?
Leonardo, you actually took the words right out of my mouth. To answer your question, I think Leonardo's answer is very it's the right moment at the right time. Sounds like the Steelers, right? Like they're winning with Kenny Pickett, but their defense is doing what needs to be done, and they find ways to win games. So top 10, I think is fair. If you'd said top 5, I would have been like, heck no. But yeah, I mean, if he plays like the 10th best quarterback in the league, then I think that bodes well for us going into the playoffs with that defense. So yeah, I think if he can give me anywhere from like 7 to 10 performance, and as far as quarterbacks are concerned, we'll win some games. What travels in December and January? Defense, running game. Those are the two things that you know to travel. We have a favorable schedule coming up once we get through these. After getting through these 2 AFC North games back to back, Baltimore, Pittsburgh. I'm praying we go 1-1 through that. I don't like the Baltimore matchup with the way they're going right now. I think our offense has got to click a little more. I like our chances against Pittsburgh. I think we beat Pittsburgh game 1 if Chubb doesn't go down. So we'll see what we got.
Yeah, on the Lions front, great, beginning to the season beating the Chiefs. I think it was a good shootout, good test against the Seahawks. The Seahawks seem to be that team that really tests us, no matter like who's on that roster. But that was a great shootout. Gino eked that one out, and then from there we just string some good wins together. The blaring mark on our resume is definitely the Ravens game. Wasn't prepared. Went to their house and just got smacked up real good. So you need one of those every once in a while to prove, bring you back down off that high horse and then get back to what you do well. We had some injuries on the offensive line. Hopefully we get better leading into this next game going against the Chargers. They're playing right now on Monday night. So we get them in a short week. So hopefully we get Montgomery back, we get Decker back, we get Ragnarok back, and that line gets back to full strength with our running game, because I feel like the running game helps the passing game. Doesn't have to have Jared Goff throw 35 to 40 passes a game. Gibbs. Thank you, Gibbs. Thank you, Gibbs, for showing up on Monday night, because it would have been bad if he didn't, and we would have lost that game. So this is a team that doesn't have a bunch of superstars. They're just a well-oiled team, well-coached team. I would have loved for them to made the big splash during the trade deadline, but there was no guys out there that I would have been happy with. Like I'm not giving Sweat an extension. I'm not giving Chase Young an extension. Like I told Joel, or I don't know if I told you, but I was telling some guys at work, like after that Monday night game, I would have been like, hey, give me Max Crosby. Go call Oakland and see what I can get from Max Crosby, because that brother wrecked that game. He from here. See what you give him 2 twos and somebody in Houston or some other pass rusher, and see what we can do to go get him. But not making a move like of a huge magnitude, maybe come back to haunt us if some injuries happen and we don't have a lot of depth. They did end up giving DPJ, so I was telling Joe, like, I think that's maybe a next year move. Like, you can assess your receiving core, and maybe he can be third or fourth in that rotation. Maybe even second if him and J-Mo go at it. But you can get a guy like Khalif Raymond. Like, he's a good returner, but he's not the best receiver. And DPJ is above average at both. He's an above average returner and an above average receiver. So you can get 2 for 1 there. So that's a roster spot that you can give him. But so I like the move maybe for next year. But we got a favorable schedule moving up. We got the Bears twice, I think, in the next 4 weeks. We got Green Bay. We got the Saints. So going into this middle portion of the schedule, we still got a favorable schedule. And then the back end of the schedule, we got Dallas and then Minnesota twice. So, right now, I think we're second right now in the NFC. Right now, the bye goes to Philly. So if we just keep cranking out these wins, who knows what happens. So hopefully we just keep positioning ourselves, win the games we're supposed to, and just keep building and stay away from injuries.
So what is, as I talked about before, when I looked at giving our top 5, what's the thing that scares you? What's the flaw? What's the thing that could come back to bite you? You don't, like you said, you don't have a lot of star power. You have a group of guys playing really good football, as some would say, good complementary football, offense, defense. What's the thing that stands out to you that's concerning as a fan going into the second half of the season?
I would say one of the things that travel during the latter is our run defense. You go against a team that has a dominant run or a good offensive line, like you go against a Philly late in the season who has a great offensive line. Swift is running Will Rail right now. You go against teams that have a top 5, top 10 running back. Can you stop them? We did good against Josh Jacobs, but also they didn't give him the ball as much as they should have. So they helped us out in Vegas. They kept trying to have Garoppolo win the game for him, which is probably why my man got fired because he put all his chips on the wrong horse instead of just running the ball. So I would say our run defense, most definitely, because our line outside of our in rushes aren't run stoppers. So that's why I was looking for a little interior line help, maybe some linebacker help. Jack Campbell isn't really getting on the field as much as we would like as Detroit fans since you drafted him high. So Anzalone kind of took all those reps. We ain't really seen Rodrigo. Like, he was a darling last season.
Yep.
He's way behind on the depth chart right now. So, like, we need some better linebacker play. Our corners are setting up. Sutton had a really good Monday night game. So I would say our run defense probably scares me the most. And then, there's always, can Jared Goff continue on this path that he's going on? So I'm not going to knock the guy right now. I'm not going to knock him because he's had a great first half of the season. So I'm just going to continue to have the expectation be the expectation of, let this guy throw the ball 20, 25 times a game. The play action with Amon-Ra works perfectly, and let the run game do what it's supposed to do to help the passing game. So, to answer your question, if they face somebody that can run the ball, then that's scary going towards the playoffs. Yeah, Lions defense definitely got torched. All right, cool. So if the Lions and the Browns play right now, who do you think? So no, I'm playing. I'm not going to do that. All right, next up, Joel. This is all you, brother, because I am not understanding what is happening right here.
God, this is so annoying.
What is happening right here? After this, we're going to play a game called Joel, How Much Do You Care? Right after this, I got a bunch of NBA stuff, NFL stuff that happened while we was gone. And I'm going to ask my brother how much he cares about these things that happen. But before that, let's dive into this Michigan sign stealing scandal because I have no clue what this is about.
Oh, this is so annoying, man. It's like every day I just go to ESPN.com and just look for the headline of what's going to be said today. Anyway, so there's a rule that was installed back in 1993. Basically, the rule says you cannot do any live in like any on-campus at the game advanced scouting of any kind, especially using any type of equipment such as video equipment, recording devices, etc.
So you
Okay.
can't videotape the other team's sideline.
Yeah, you basically can't go to a game. You cannot go to a game and do any advanced scouting. You can get the TV shoots that go out. You can get film from
Oh, you
other
can't go.
schools.
Oh, so they can't go to another game
Not-
and watch the other.
You cannot go do any scouting
Okay.
live in person. It has to be all okay. Let alone go and record the sideline of the other team.
So they did that.
So allegedly, okay, because I am reserved. I'm going to explain this, and everybody's going to say their piece, but I'm trying to hold back my. I'm trying to hold back my opinion until all the facts come out. So here's the story. Connor Stallions there's evidence to suggest that this man has paid people to go to games, literally sit in their seats and record sidelines.
And who is he to Michigan?
Huh?
Who is he to Michigan?
He this year was a low-level staffer on their team.
Okay.
In the past, he had been just a person. This year, he was hired as a low-level staffer. That staffer made around $55,000 a year. Okay. He's a former United States Marine something, and this guy on his LinkedIn, it was said that he promotes a business of basically doing this. Okay.
Low-level staffer. Hey, listen, I'll be a low-level staffer for $50K right now.
$50K, right? Hey. He also has been found to be at numerous other games, standing on their sideline. Recently, Central Michigan versus Michigan State. He was standing on the Central Michigan sideline in Central Michigan coaching gear with a sideline pass and sunglasses on at night.
Wow. Is that the video that I've been seeing circulating with the blue dot in the glasses?
Yes, that's one of them.
Okay.
And then the video of him at the Michigan State Central game was fully shaved face, glasses, Central Michigan baseball cap, and he's like standing next to like the recruiting coordinator. So the baffling part of that whole
Kobe said that ain't him.
Yeah. Here's the baffling part of this whole like where is Connor now piece is how does this man get on your sideline and you don't know he's there? So Central Michigan up in arms. We're going to get to the bottom of this. Yada, yada, yada. All right. He wasn't there to scout Central Michigan. He was there to scout Michigan State.
Right.
There's another game where the seats where the two people who he paid to go to film the sideline after the story broke,
allegedly,
those two seats were empty and people were recording the seats being empty. And there's supposed to be video evidence of people sitting in these seats and recording the sideline of the other opponent. All of these opponents, by the way, are either current scheduled opponents or possible future CFP opponents. And this may have been going on since 2021, which, as you know, is right when Michigan got good and started winning the Big Ten in 21 and 22.
But he wasn't on staff by then.
He wasn't on staff at that time. Okay. Now, when the story broke, he was suspended with pay. Okay. Pending an investigation. Nobody has said, no, they haven't explained that. He has now since been or resigned, which the first report was that he was fired. He ended up resigning just last week.
Sure.
Kobe, great point. Did we scout CCU? Because how did that work out for us? Exactly. So now here is the issue. All the other Big Ten coaches are up in arms. All the other Big Ten schools are up in arms. Here's what we know in football, in college football especially. And you talk to anybody about this, and everybody will say, this isn't new. Everybody does it. Mm-hmm. But now the self-righteous people of college football are trying to say, well, we might do it. We're not saying we do, we don't, but we don't go as far as they've gone to do it.
Gotcha.
Which is, again, it's illegal to record and go.
Now, this is the sideline where they holding up pictures of a car, the color blue, and Shaq, and you're supposed to figure out what that means.
Correct. And if you look at a college sideline, most of the time when play calls are coming in, the play calls that are coming in are being relayed in by 3 to 4 people, and you have to figure out who the person is that's the real signal caller, and the other people are just dummy signals. And somehow, some way, Michigan has mastered this art through Connor Stallions, but no one else seems to be that good at doing this, even though now there have been a lot of anonymous stories that have come out from different coaches and different people on different staffs that have said, listen, it's happened before many times in games. We've seen it. We've known. We've even known when our sign has been jacked because we'll run a play and they'll just know it. Every time we run it, it gets stuffed.
Gotcha.
Of course, there's been some other stories that come out that talk about how go back to this game and notice how when this team played this team, all of a sudden, the second half they hung 40 on them, and there's just been all this just stuff that comes out about it.
So
right now,
the Astros beating on the can because this is
correct. There's trying
fastball.
This has been compared to the Astros beating on the garbage can in the background. Yes. So at this point, where are we now? So currently, they're under investigation. As you know, Jim Harbaugh was also under investigation for recruiting violations, which he self-imposed on it with a 3-game suspension this year, which I've done some research on that. And basically it's amounted to a lot of people are saying he gave a kid a hamburger at a recruiting event. He paid for it. Okay, whatever. The NCAA, as you know, is a very high and mighty organization of self-righteous individuals who seem to always want to have their own little rules. Meanwhile, while they sit up in their perch and do whatever. But that's my personal opinion. So here's where we are today. The newest story, literally just released today, is that after the Big Ten has come out and met with the coaches on their Big Ten call, all the coaches are up in an uproar. Oh, you need to punish them. You need to punish them. There's enough evidence to say that they did something. There's enough evidence. The NCAA is notorious for taking a long time to investigate things. Typically, they don't come back with anything until the following season. But the Big Ten has a clause that says they can take action under their sportsmanship policy. So last week, the Big Ten was in Ann Arbor along with the NCAA to meet with the president, with the staff, and a new story dropped today that the Big Ten has now issued a letter to Michigan, who has by Wednesday to respond, that there is some disciplinary action coming, which a lot of people seem to believe that they're going to suspend Harbaugh, but they're not going to punish the team because they don't think that the kids should be punished while Harbaugh should. A lot of other people on the other side of this think the NCAA just doesn't like Harbaugh. Everybody hates him because he's a weird, awkward guy. He wins everywhere he goes. And
so what is your prediction on the punishment?
I think that that's probably going to happen. I think he's going to get – now, I don't know how many games. I can see he gets 2 games and everybody goes nuts. What? That's ridiculous. Then I can see the Big Ten trying to come down hard on him and say he's suspended the rest of the season pending investigation, and people will go crazy there. But I think there'll be a major lawsuit or something in court that'll happen to stay that, and I don't think it'll actually go down. So I think at the end of the day, I don't really know. I'm expecting somewhere between 2 games and the end of the rest of the season. And now everybody, I think, is waiting for them to lose so they can say, see, told you so. The problem is they keep winning. And as Kobe just pointed out, Harbaugh basically has already come out and said, I have no idea what this is about. Nothing to do with it. This is basically people are mad because we're on top and they want us to fall. So he's kind of did one of these to the NCAA, and he's denying all awareness and everything. But unfortunately, NCAA, they always hit the coach with you're supposed to know what's going on throughout your organization, no matter what, which is a violation that they call like something, lack of control, or there's some type of violation, lack of control. And that's usually considered like a secondary violation. So, man, I don't know what's going to happen. I want to hear the truth or hear the facts, hear the connection, because part of me is like, if y'all were doing this, were you really not smart enough to not put it on computers that could trace back to y'all? Or do y'all have a way to make this guy look like he was a rogue staffer? And I mean, y'all have to have an exit strategy, right? If this is true.
So Michigan plays Penn State, at Maryland, home Ohio State.
Yes.
So a big FU would definitely be suspending him for the rest of the year.
Yes. And a big FU back would be they go 3-0 the next 3 games, and then they're in the CFP and they win the Natty, and everybody goes, yeah, that's because they stole everybody's signs. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
Kobe, I agree. You can't listen to the media because they're spinning the life out of it because it's got to stay in the news, and people tell their stories the way they want to tell them. So I just want to wait till I might actually read the actual PDF on this investigation when it gets released because I want to see what happens.
Okay. So he just got caught doing what everybody else do, allegedly.
I mean, allegedly. I mean, it kind of minimalizes it because if they did this is like next level. I have a hard time believing nobody else has done this before. But
the man on the other team sideline with their gear though is hilarious.
That's hilarious, my God. And if you go and look at some of the videos, they have this one video of like the Ohio State game last year where they're like he's standing on the Michigan sideline with the coaches, and Ohio State calls a play, and when they call the play and send a signal in, like half of the Michigan sideline does a signal, and everybody and they're like, see, that's evidence that they know, but that doesn't prove he got that from scouting. They could have just cracked the code on the sideline. That's why you see the banners. People hold the banners. You'll see some people call plays and they hold up big sheets where these guys are just holding these sheets up the whole time, and then they put them down. They go through a lot. A lot of people are just saying, why don't y'all just put microphones in the helmets? That's a whole nother discussion. Yeah.
Makes sense. All right. Well, thank you for explaining that to me. And hopefully we have an answer. Stay tuned to the next Academy Sports Show as we break down the maybe punishment for Jim Harbaugh.
Right.
All right, next up, we got Do You Care? Joel, do you care? All right, so give me a 1 through 10 how much you care about these events that happened while we were away. I didn't get them all, got some, pulled them up. Let me know your honest internal rating. All right. And then after this, guys, we got our top 5 teams in the league. Please stay tuned where Joel put the Lions. Just stay tuned. All right, here we go. Joel, are you ready to play? Do you care?
All right. 10 being the highest, right? 10 means I really care. All right, gotcha.
Yep. All right, here we go. Joel, do you care?
Man, it's 10, man. It's a 100%. It's a 10. It's 110. No. Yes, I care. I wanted to see my guy do something huge in New York, man. I was about to be a Aaron Rodgers quiet Jets fan. I was about to be
quiet Jets fan.
Jets. I was about to mess with my guy at work who's a Bills fan. I mean, I was ready. The troll in me was about to man. Yeah, I care, bro. That's a 10.
What, 3-4 plays?
He walked in MetLife Stadium tonight with no crutches. Let's go.
Yeah, they put that on Bleacher Report quick. He's throwing bombs and dropping back on the field. I'm like, all right.
Bro, that would be like the most – that's HGH all day, bro. You definitely have to test him for something if he comes back from a tourniquet.
No, he on that extra stuff. He be doing that ashwagandha – that he be on that extra dark place healing.
Yeah.
Whatever he be doing. All right. Next up, do you care? The certain rookie of the year is starting off hot.
Absolutely not.
Oh,
That's a 1 for me.
dang.
I don't care.
You haven't enjoyed? Yeah, I
It's like,
watched the first game. I wanted to see it. Like, oh, this awkward 7'11" guy doing crossovers.
that's pretty much what it looks like to me. I don't care. Look at Pop looking at him. I mean, come on, like, I'm not even
It's
amazed.
basketball, man.
Not even amazed by he's changing the game. Yeah, you're right.
He called for a lob
lob.
at the 3-point line. He was like, I mean, my man's at the 3-point line. Call for
Yeah, he's changing
No.
the game. He's 7'8". Yeah, he's changing the game. Here comes a flood of 7'8" players into the league. Yeah, he's changing the game. It's practically unguardable because he's so tall. And no, he's not Manute Bol. I get it. I mean, he's got more skill set, yes, but I'm sorry, it's a 1 for me. Dude, the NBA is just so like,
dang, that's messed up, bro. No,
and all you others that are y'all know that it's a 10 for Rodgers. Y'all just hate him. Kobe gave him a 7 for Rodgers and an 8 for this.
yeah, he care about the young fella, man.
Yeah, good for you, young fella. Do your thing.
Joe, do you care?
That's why this is a segment. Hey, you should have gave me a 0 for this one. If I don't care about Wembanyama or whatever his name is as a 1, this is even worse. And then this dude had the nerve to try to go in his press conference and talk about having the freedom to play. Are you kidding me? Like, my God, you are known. You're for the streets. Just say it. You got your contract and you're for the streets. We should press the letter B for that, right? Yeah, marker created. You got your contract, James, and you're for the streets. That's it.
That's messed up.
And they're not going to win a championship. Look at that picture, sir. How many basketballs can you play with at one time?
Listen, he's the off guard. Russ is the 1. I mean, you got PG, Kawhi. I mean, look at all that youth on one team.
Oh, my God, bro. Oh, my God. This is ridiculous. When are we going to stop with these super teams? The era of the super team is dead. It's dead, y'all.
I mean, at least with James Harden, it is.
It's dead. Putting 4 perennial all-stars, future Hall of Famers on the same team. Dead. I don't care.
So
this is
a 0.
This is a 0.
All right, let's mark it down. The first.
I care about
first 10 and 0 in Do You Care history.
Thank you. I care about Wembanyama mama more than I do this guy.
Wembanyama's mama. Can you please scroll back and look what I gave Rodgers?
Oh God, he gave him a 0.7. You know what, Kobe?
0.7?
It's a 0.7.
Where is it at? Oh, it's a 0.7. Gotcha. Gotcha. That's a sneaky decimal.
How you doing in fantasy right now, Kobe?
Dang!
Right.
Flag. Don't take that, Kobe, at all, sir. I would request a link if I was you. Pop said 1-2. 0-0 for Harden.
Damn, come on, man.
No Harden love here. All right, Joel, do you care?
This one. Ooh, I'm gonna give this. Listen, I'm gonna give this a 7. Matter of fact, give me a 7.5 on this one. Yes,
7.5.
I care because this team can win This team can win a championship. This team can win a championship. Middleton is the perfect number 3 option. Okay, Giannis, if he just continues to be him and don't flame out in the playoffs. I think he had an ankle issue last year as well, though. He's dang near unstoppable. And now you have a closer who can get his own shot from anywhere. Whereas when you gave the ball to Giannis, Giannis, if he was doing anything but going to the rim to try to win a game, the jump shot is not one I would say, "Oh, shoot it, Giannis." That's not what I would want him to do. Dame is that guy. This was a great move by the Milwaukee Bucks, and they definitely can come out of the East when we get into our heavy NBA in the weeks to come. I will give my opinion more. This is a 7.5 for me, though, on the care scale, because NBA is second tier to everything else in my life when it comes to sports. I like the NFL and college football better.
The drama will come because right now we're in a in-season tournament. That's going to be next week's Do You Care?
I already got my number ready for that.
Yeah, with this team, though, with the loss of Jrue Holiday, I just want to know where the perimeter defense is going to go. That's been their issue so far. So make a trade for a perimeter defensive two-guard so you can keep Dame on the floor, and this team will do great things.
There you go.
Joel, do you care?
This is a setup. No wonder you didn't tell me about this. Oh God. Dude. Dang it, I already gave away my one. Should have gave Wembanyama a 2. I can give this a 1. But they're still not as bad as James Harden. This is a 1 for me again. Y'all know how I feel about the Celtics. Can't stand them. They're still not going to win, and this is why. You have 2 of the same player on your team. They're the same guys.
They're the best team in the East.
Sir, Jason Tatum, they were the best team in the East last year. Ask him about the Heat. Jason Tatum is going to
about the Heat. You are rude.
In the playoffs. I trust Jason Tatum to be his same self. So, no, I don't care. And the Jrue Holiday ad was like.
They got Porzingis, too.
Yeah, he'll be hurt before the season's over.
My knee! Christian, move over.
Yeah, so they get a 1. I mean, the Jrue Holiday ad is nice, right? You get deep perimeter defense, right? Drew's going to give you some scoring sometimes, but there's a reason why they were willing to let him go for Dame, and that was pretty much we need somebody else that can put the ball in the basket. They have enough of that, right, with these 2 guys. In Boston, you bring in Jrue Holiday, you have a point guard. He's better than Marcus Smart, who is not even on the scale of do you care for me. So if his picture comes up in the next 3 or 4 things, you can skip him. I don't like him just as much as I don't like Jason Tatum. And my thing with Jason Tatum, just to reiterate for you newcomers to the show, it's not that I don't like him.
It's because he's light-skinned, everybody. Just bookmark that. He hates all light-skinned guys, other than Devin Booker.
It's not true. It's not true. It's not true. The issue that I have with Jason Tatum is we have crowned this guy as an MVP caliber player, and he has yet to do anything. We're still waiting, Jason. We're still waiting. And every time we get on this topic, he never fails. He does something that proves my points. So feel free, Jason. Serve it up.
Hey, Pop said 1-2. Look at y'all on the same accord. Shameful. Well, that was this week's edition. I was gonna do it as a one-off, but I think it works, guys. What do you think? I think Do You Care works, and we might have to spin the block on this next week.
Should we keep the Do You Care segment? Yes or no? I like it.
Do you care? All right, and let's round everything off with our top 5. We bring this back. Top 5 NFL picks, teams for this coming up. What week are we in? 7.
We are in week 9. Week 9 is wrapping.
Week 9. All right. So Joe's top 5. This is the top 5 that you gave me, sir. Explain your top 5 for the folks. And while he's explaining that, you guys put your top 5 in the chat.
Well, guys should be happy. So this is my top
See,
5.
the Eagles got a touchdown song. Fly.
I know.
Eagles,
I'm aware
fly.
that
The
I
Jets got
said
a touchdown song. J-E-T. The
that's
Chiefs.
not-
Everybody got a touchdown song. Why you hating on our touchdown song?
okay, hold on. Stop. The Eagles have a touchdown song. That's true. The Lions have one. The Jets have a chant. It's not.
Same
They don't.
difference.
It's not a song. The
Same
Chiefs do the tomahawk chop, which is also more known from Florida State than it is Kansas City. But
They do it too. It's all racist. They don't care.
all right. So, my top 5. So at 5, this was actually the hardest one for me because if I could maybe do like the next 2 out, I had like Jacksonville sitting there that I was thinking about. And Miami was there. I was like, man, that's like it almost felt like I had to do that because of just how their season has gone. And I mean, they did hang 70 on somebody. But I had people like Jacksonville, and then another team to me, even though they're struggling right now, my other 2 out was the 49ers. But I settled here. Miami at 5, hung 70 on some teams, having a good season. However, shown some chinks in the armor recently. Kansas City really hit them hard this week. They just basically said, Tariq's not going to beat us. You guys got to beat us another way. I'm still not a believer in Tua, like many are. So, but again, playing really good football. Their play caller and their head coach, Mike McDaniel, is very good. So that's actually, I think, a plus for them because I think you need your coach to win 1 or 2 games for you a season. So it's going to be just interesting to see how things shake out in the AFC East, specifically for them. So they're my number 5. Coming in at 4, Kansas City. I actually had them at 3 and realized it doesn't make sense to put Kansas City at 3 and the Lions at 4 when the Lions beat Kansas City. So got to give the props. Kansas City sitting at 7-2, rocky start. Offense has been up and down. This week, he hit a bunch of different receivers, and Kelsey had like 2-3 catches. Thank you, because it helped me win my fantasy game this week. However, the offense has been up and down, but the defense is playing at a really high level right now. Their corners are good. Their backers are good. They always have a strong defensive line. So they're playing really good football right now. And you got to think, coming along here pretty soon, that offense is going to go nuts, and he's going to get hot. That MVP and Super Bowl champ Mahomes are going to get hot. So I have them at 4. At number 3, this is not a troll. This is respect. This is me being accountable to my craft and not just being random all the time. And I'm bringing in the Lions. Lions sitting at what? Are you 6-2 right now? All right, big win over Kansas City to open the season. Felt like that was a measuring stick game. Finished the year strong last year. Felt like this coming in was a measuring stick game everybody talked about. They didn't go in there and barely beat them. They went in there and I think dismantled Kansas City pretty well. The run game, the pass game, Goff looked great. Defensively, they look great. They got star power on defense with Hutch. The rookies coming on strong. And so, to me, I think they're doing pretty well. I tried to get Dre to talk it up a little bit, but he's trying to stay all calm and modest. They have this is not a troll. I think you could agree. They have a very good schedule for a team that has ascended to a position of now we're expecting you to win games that you're supposed to win. And so they won a few games that in the past they would have lost those games with some of the mistakes. They're winning those games. That is a sign of a good football team, great culture. Lions right now in my top 5 at number 3. I can't believe I'm saying. Woo! All right. Moving up, number 2. I hate that I have to say this, but they just look really, really good right now. Lamar Jackson is standing in the pocket and throwing the dang on football, and it's getting on my nerves. Now, their schedule's been horrible. Like, I looked at their schedule and I was like, okay, hold on. They've been beating up on some folks that they're supposed to beat up on. So that's the knock on them for me. I don't think Lamar's going to carry this team to a world championship with standing in the pocket and throwing the ball. I just don't believe that's going to happen. But we shall see. But right now, their defense is playing lights out. He's playing lights out. And as always, they don't need wide receivers to win games because they've got a really, really good tight end. So apparently, who cares that they have Odell Beckham Jr.? Because he just throws it all the time to his tight end. So it doesn't matter. So number 2 right now, it's hard to not put him here because, I mean, they have run through some teams and they are surprising some people because I think some people thought that they were going to be more of them, kind of a middle tier team because nobody believed in the fact that Lamar Jackson was going to throw the ball. Lastly, I think this is kind of the obvious choice. Number 1, the Eagles right now sitting at 8-1, coming off a big win on against Dallas. Looking real good offensively. Well, looking good offensively. They have a play that's just unstoppable, and that's that dang on push play, the Philly push. Outside of that, I think they have some question marks on the back end with their corners and safeties, but we shall see. But, hey, they're 8-1. It's hard not to put them at the top when you're 8-1, and they have some really good quality wins on top of that. So that's my top 5. All 5 teams have flaws. We've talked about the Lions. I think Kansas City, the offense got to get consistent. Miami, real or not, can they stay healthy? Can Tua take it a whole season? And then Baltimore, I don't know, man. Lamar standing in the pocket and just throwing it, running only when he has to. Interesting formula, but it's working for him right now. Kudos and shout out to the offensive coordinator and to that system, man, because the Ravens are like the Steelers. The organization just keeps on doing it.
Yep.
So there you go.
Kobe said every year about B More, you got to show me something. I agree. You know, the season, it's a long season. The list will fluctuate. I know that for sure. Because to me, sir, I have the exact same list other than my number 5. So I got Eagles number 1.
They're my number 8.
I got the Eagles number 1. I got Baltimore number 2 just because Baltimore put it on the Lions. I can't move the Lions ahead of them. Yeah. You know, until, you know, the records kind of match. I got Kansas City number 4 just because they're still Kansas City. They're still scary. They can win any game because they got Patrick Mahomes. And I got the Bengals number 5, big win against the Bills this week. Joe Burrow is back to being Joe Burrow. I wanted to put the 49ers here, but the Brock Purdy thing over the last 3 games have been inconsistent. So I didn't put the 49ers there. Miami, huge loss against Kansas City. And plus, Miami really hasn't really beat any real contenders yet. So I want to see them in a situation where all the chips are on the line and they actually like smoke somebody.
That's fair because they got smoked by Buffalo.
Yeah, I really want, and I want to see them beat somebody because I like their offense. I like McDaniels. It's a lot to like out in Miami. So I just want to see them beat somebody when that other team is at their best. So Baltimore already beat the Bengals early on this year, but like I said, Joe Burrow's he's rounding into form right now. Early on in the season, he wasn't himself. That was a thigh, knee, ankle injury. He just really couldn't push off. He was throwing bad balls. Jamar Chase wasn't getting the ball. But out of these last 3 weeks, looks like the Bengals are back to being the Bengals. Beat their rivals, one of their rivals in Buffalo in a huge game. So I went ahead and put the Bengals at number 5. Only team that I really see challenge them is the 49ers. But like I said, Brock Purdy ain't playing well. He's losing them games now. This was a guy who was undefeated for so long, great game manager for so long, and now either teams are figuring him out or he in a slump. So the 49ers got to figure that out moving forward with him. Also, it helps that it doesn't help that Deebo ain't played the last 3 games as well. So we'll see what the 49ers do, but I put the Bengals at 5.
Nice. Yeah. So you like them over Jacksonville?
Yeah. I can look at Jacksonville's schedule. I really
they knocked off the Bills. They look really good. I don't
believe it yet. I want to.
Don't believe in them yet.
Believe Jacksonville. They beat the Colts. They beat the Falcons, Bills, Colts again, Saints, and Steelers. So the next game coming up against the 49ers this week or next week, that'll be a really good one. They play their Bengals again in 3 weeks. So they got some games coming up.
Yeah.
They got some games coming up that can crack my top 5 if they
They
go
got
on
a
a run.
schedule. They got Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cleveland, San Francisco. Yeah, they got some handful of games in there.
So they definitely got a chance to crack it. And that is the last slide, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. That was day
Nice.
one.
Chargers are up 14-0.
I wanted to bet on this game, but I didn't know I was like, man, this would be the game the Jets show up and play good hard-nosed defense against an inconsistent Chargers team. But I didn't bet on it. I just let it go. I like to bet on short things. I'm not a gambler. Any other news and notes for you, brother?
Nope. That's pretty much it. Kobe said, does Michigan go undefeated in the Big East? I actually believe yes, they do. Yes. The answer is yes. If they lose one of these games, like Penn State, I expect them to be Maryland. If they lose Penn State or Ohio State, I don't think I'm going to be as mad as I would have been in the past. And I'll tell you why. It's just because it's a gauntlet. Like this, to go at Penn State, Ohio State, your last 2 out of 3, it's just as hard as it gets. You got the two other teams in the conference that are the best 2 other teams. But I'll say this: going into the games, I'm confident. Here's why: neither team, Penn State or Ohio State, to me, has looked unstoppable. Ohio State's number 1 right now in the CFP because of their strength of schedule, which just took a hit because Notre Dame just lost to Clemson. So I think that's just obvious. It was easy for them to put Ohio State 1 because you beat Notre Dame and you have a win against Penn State at home. It's just easy to do. Ohio State does not look good and consistent on offense. Their defense is really, really good, and the quarterback play is mediocre. Secondly, yes, Marvin Harrison is really good. Secondly, Penn State, same thing. Quarterback's blah. He's okay. They have really good defense, and they pride themselves in running the ball. But then when they play really good competition, they don't win. Every year we get hyped about Ohio State, Penn State, and Ohio State shows them you're still third in the Big Ten. I am 100% Kobe glad, as you just said, that this is not a whiteout game. If this was a whiteout game, I would be extremely scared this weekend. But we're playing them at 12 noon in the middle of the day. So I do expect to come out of this with a win. I actually think that Michigan is good enough to go up there and get a statement win because the hype is back about, because Penn State's back on track. They've knocked off. They struggled with Indiana right after losing Ohio State. And then they knock somebody off this week that they're supposed to knock off. So to me, I think Michigan's just a better team across the board, and I think they can go up there and show everybody and keep thumbing their noses up to the NCAA and the Big Ten while everybody hates on Jim Harbaugh. So I think they're going to win the Big Ten. There's nobody in the West, obviously, so I think they'll beat Ohio State and they'll beat Penn State.
Gotcha. James says Cleveland should be in the top 5 after they beat the Ratbirds. So I take that as the Ravens.
Yeah.
That they play next week.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That'll be something to consider. Yeah. This list is gonna change. When I make this list, I cannot be a homer. I have to be analytical. So we have to actually put something up there that's credible. So that is something to consider. Again, my thing about the Browns is, can we put together a complete game offensively and defensively? You know the defense is coming on Sunday. You know what the defense is going to bring. If Deshaun Watson can show me Deshaun Watson, Houston Texans Deshaun Watson, and he can complement the running game with throwing the ball, then yeah, that's a really, really good football team. Just haven't seen it yet. And once I see that, then I'm more than happy to put them in my top 5.
There we go. All right, let me get my.
Oh, nice, Kobe. 14-point win. You should put something on that. Right, yeah, the spread's 3.5. So
sound like money to me.
I take Michigan in the points. I think we're going to beat them by 4 or more. Yes.
Take the money. All right. Well, as always, we appreciate everybody, the field joining the show. We appreciate y'all showing up like y'all did. as us coming back
We're back.
full-fledged. We're going to try to do Mondays at 7:30 consistently. But if something happens, what should you do? Subscribe to YouTube, and my hand can't go any further down. Trigger that bell. Like I'm trying to go through the desk. Trigger that bell. That way you get a notification every time you go live. That's the case. It's a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. You're here. You're here for trivia. You're here early, and you're ready to participate. If you got a meme, shoot it to me. If you got a trivia question, shoot it to me or Joe. Either way, you are a great participant of the show. We can't do the show without you, so thank you guys so much. We will see you again next week. On behalf of myself, Andre Douglas, Joel Williams.
Man, y'all heard the man. See you next week. We back.